Though Kate's going to be joining with Nina Richard Beautiful Fashions, and it includes this really awesome jacket and this really fabulous dress I'm wearing. I'm Suzanne Runyon. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I want to show you a picture because, and it's kind of a funny picture because you can see it, but you can't see it. But I promise you, it is this exact EcoFlow you're going to see on my Facebook page. There it is. I decided to post that because one of our goals is to be prepared for emergencies, but also to be able to live off-grid. I know it sounds a little crazy, but yeah, my husband and I are, yes, we like the idea of being completely independent. Great story behind this. We bought the most powerful EcoFlow they make, which is the Pro model, which is you're seeing right here. And the reason we bought it was my husband wanted to be able to be off-grid for an extended period of time. Interesting story. My husband works 8 to 10 hours a day on a computer. He's a software analyst. So he said, okay, let's get this so that I can work all day and have the lights on and use all of our electricity and charge my phone at the same time. So we invested in this model. We really wanted to get kind of the granddaddy of them all. Today we've got it available, and I've got two options for you. I have without the solar panel or with. Now I will tell you, we bought extra solar panels to go with ours. So we have 2 solar panels. You can choose, do I want one? We also have additional ones available. But we've never regretted the purchase, and I'm telling you, time and time again, it is that wow item. We're like, wow, this thing works so good. And again, completely off-grid, and he's on a computer all day long. So I think that speaks volumes for just how awesome this is. We got a lot to share with you. So I'm gonna bring in Justin, because I know he's floating around somewhere in the kitchen. Hi, Justin, welcome back.
Hello, yeah, I float around the whole entire studio because, one of the great things about the Delta Pro is the fact that it works in the whole entire house. This is not just the most, powerful that we have, but it's gonna power 99% of your home appliances. So, Suzanne, you're talking about going off grid. That's one of the great parts about it, is not just home backup power, but it's portable home backup power. And there's only 2 of our Deltas that can actually power 99%. This is the most powerful that we have. This is the Pro model. And this is gonna power up to 3,600 watts of power. Does come with the wheels. It also does have a nice little pull handle, so it makes it really easy to just kind of wheel around if you want to. I would say we're starting the kitchen, because when you lose power, the first thing you're thinking is refrigerator, appliances. And if you're out of power for an extended period of time, well, we need to eat. We need to keep the food that's in the refrigerator cool. So we're thinking about essentials, food, water, and power. If you don't have the ability to power up all of those devices in your home because you live in an apartment, you live in a condo, or you're just thinking, I don't want gas, I don't want propane, this is gonna be a great alternative and third option. So right off the bat, I'm gonna set this down. I wanna give you a quick little tour, and then I'm gonna plug in that refrigerator. I want you to see this because it's so easy to use. One touch of a button, that's it. If this was a gas or propane generator, as I just mentioned, this can't be inside. I'd have to get gas, I would need oil, I would need to have maintenance involved with making sure that this is gonna run when I need it to. One touch of a button, that's it. And then that display is gonna give you every bit of information that you need. So 6 representing 6 days, right here 99 representing the percentage of the power. And then these zeros right here are gonna represent the wattage going out and wattage going in. So when I go to recharge this, by the way, it is the fastest recharge rate in the industry, from 0 to 100% in a little less than 3 hours. It's also gonna tell me how long it's gonna power that up. So, okay, so I wanted to give you a quick view of that, because now I'm gonna plug in the refrigerator, and I want you to see, when I was talking about those zeros, the cool thing about this is it's literally goof-proof. You don't have to worry about guessing how long is it gonna run my refrigerator for, how long can I run a microwave for. As soon as I plug anything in, it's gonna automatically calculate that for me, and you can see that that compressor just kicked in on the refrigerator. So now it's gonna say, 3 days, that's not 3 hours, 3 days for my refrigerator. How else right now in your home could you run a refrigerator for 3 days? And then you said it, Suzanne, the fact that this is completely independent, that you can feel like you can go off grid, that you don't have to worry about, having to worry about gas and propane. You can be completely self-sufficient and independent with the solar panels, which is why the solar panels are the biggest option. Then the number 1 option is getting it with the solar panel, because it just completes the whole entire circuit. How are you gonna recharge the unit after you've continuously been out of power? With the sun, and that's what makes this a solar generator. We're also showing you that solar panel right there. So the solar panel, you get it connected, and then you were talking about it. You know, if you have multiple solar panels, Suzanne, great, get it connected to your Delta Pro. This will work with just about 99% of the additional solar panels out there on the market.
Yep.
But obviously, we recommend picking up as many as you can today.
Well, and again, you have your choice if you want it with or without. So if you want to get the unit and the solar panel and you're kind of really set to go, it's great. But again, getting multiples, that's what we did. We bought 2 solar panels, and we bought them separate from the unit. So it's really nice to have this combination. Now, what are we doing? If you want to pick this up, and I know it's not $19, I get it. But for me, it is a lifelong investment to have security, knowing as crazy as the world might be or whatever happens, whether it's bad weather, we want to be off grid, whatever we want to do, that's why we invested in it. We look at this like you would an investment in your life. That's our discussion at our household, because we want to make sure we're not in that freak out position, especially in Florida. Hurricanes hit. We have horrible problems here when it comes to weather. You don't want to ever be in that position. And again, just like our security system we were talking about from Blink, it gives you that real peace of mind. It's funny, there's a couple things you don't want to worry about. You don't want to worry about food, you don't want to worry about water, you don't want to have to worry about having electricity. And we've got it covered. We take being prepared very seriously in our household. And we love the option of being off grid. My husband loves to be off grid. He loves being in the woods, but he's still got to plug in every day to work. How do we do it, by the way, if you're off grid? Yes, we do have a mobile like dish system so we can get our internet. So he really enjoys living like that. And this is a great way to be able to do that and still do it comfortably. The other thing is, notice the fridge that Justin was working on. It's not a college dorm fridge. That thing is a double-doored ice-making machine right there. And he plugged in that great big powerful fridge, and it shows you he's got 3 days of power before he has to get this thing recharged. Easy recharge too, solar panels happening constantly. And what I love about the solar panel too, Justin, because obviously I know a lot about this, is it is constantly recharging. You can use it at the same time. It's not like you have to turn this off and let the solar do its thing. You just keep on going. And in our case, we do have gas generators as well. We're super prepared. You know this, Justin, what my husband does is he will, instead of waiting a couple hours for it to recharge up, he will supercharge it using our gas, but then he turns those noisy, stinky things off, and we've got power for the next 24 hours easily to power up all of our needs.
Well, that's really one of the great aspects of this, right? It's not, well, gas is better or electric is better. It's actually having a great combination of both, because this is going to be a great storage of power that also can power 99% of your home appliances. So just because you own a gas or propane generator doesn't mean you shouldn't own this, because instead of running your gas and propane generator all day, use your gas and propane generator to recharge your Delta faster, and then turn that off, and then conserve your gas, and then also know that you have more options now, right? More options with solar panels, and this is the first ever of its kind that you can take to an electric vehicle station with a little adapter and recharge it at an EV station in less than 2 hours. This can power a full-size refrigerator for 3 days, still plugged in. It's showing you there right there on the display. But in less than 2 hours at an EV station, you can have this charged up all the way up to 100%. More options right now, EV, solar, having gas and propane. I wanted to stay in here because I wanted to just kind of go through more of the essentials. You just said it. I don't want to worry about electricity when I know I have to think about food and water in that emergency, but also the creature comforts of how am I going to cook the food, and lights and fans. So small little things. I'm going to keep the refrigerator plugged in. I'm just going to go ahead and grab the little cord right here, and I'm just going to start plugging in my lights and my fans, and you just can see, everything turn on. And again, on that display, everything will start to change, give you a better idea of how long it's going to run for. The next thing I do want to do is now I want to not even unplug anything. I'm going to go ahead and plug in a microwave, okay? Because this is life. We want to have hot food. We don't want to be sitting there. And like you said, Suzanne, in that situation where you're thinking, hey, you know what? Let's go tailgating. Let's go to the campground. Let's go have fun. Portable power, that powerful enough to literally power everything inside of your home, including all of your high wattage appliances like a full-size microwave. So we've got, for instance, a refrigerator going right now. Now we got the microwave going. Refrigerator, light, fan, microwave, all running simultaneously. we're cooking our food, we're keeping our food cool, and ultimately, what are we doing? We're not stressing over what are we gonna do? How are we gonna do this? And anybody can do this in any type of home that you live in. I'm just gonna go over and walk over to the display and see how long we got right here. And just to show you how much wattage it's pulling right now. So you'll see right there, so we got 2 hours with that microwave running. Once that microwave turns off, but I want you to see those zeros right here? That's pulling almost 1,800 watts of power. This can go up to 3,600 watts of power. And beyond that, because one of the great things is too, Suzanne, is that you can double and triple the power of your Delta Pro if you want to. You can get 2 Delta Pros connected. Instead of 3,600 watts of output, you can go all the way up to 7,200 watts of output. This is extremely advanced. It is extremely powerful, and I think it just makes total peace of mind and makes sense.
Well, we also have a linking, and it's actually behind that screen. Right there, you'll see the EcoFlow Smart Extra Battery. That is available to hook up into that, which again is going to give you, it's right there behind the panel that you're seeing. I'm trying to point to it. Can you see it, guys? And those are available as well. You can grab those. They're on sale, $30 off. We also have, or the extra battery, I'm sorry, is $500 off. We have the Pro Protection Bag if you want to pick it up. That's $30 off. And there's your graphic for it if you want to get that extra battery. Something, Justin, I'd love you to do, because again, it will surprise you, is how many different things you can plug into this. Because you're seeing all these little receptacles and you're saying, okay, what's gonna work? When Justin joins me, he's gonna walk through that. But you've got your USBs, yeah, you're like, okay, great. I can run my computer, I can charge my cell phone if I need to. I mean, this to me, again, is an investment. You know, it's not, like I said before, it's not a $20 item, you know, and you're like, yeah. It's, you know, you're investing in it. And that's how my husband and I looked at this, because we know EcoFlow is, in fact, it's funny. Justin knows this too. My husband did a ton of research. I said, because he's more skeptical than I am, right? I love everything here. He's like, nope. So he really did a ton of, because we knew it was going to be a more expensive investment. And do you know, he came back to EcoFlow every time and he said, yep, Sue, the Pro model, let's get it from HSN. And he's a nut about that kind of stuff. Like, he really does his research. And he said, everybody keeps pointing back to EcoFlow. And I think that's such a great compliment, and it's why it's always so wildly popular here at HSN. Now, a couple things. We do have VIP financing, which makes this a little easier, Justin, as you know. If you have your HSN card, whip that baby out. Because right now we're giving you 18 months of VIP financing with the card. If you get no solar panel, it's $172.22 a month. And if you get it with the solar panel, it's $177.77 per month that you pay off in your 18 months. And that's an easier way to kind of get into your home and then get, you know what's funny? It's the one thing I never have to worry about again.
You know, I've talked about this before, but, you know, we quickly forget just the experience we had with that hurricane. It was crazy. You know, everybody's going to get gas, everybody's going to get food, and if you think you're going to do it, guess what? Everybody's doing it at the same exact time that you are. The last thing that you want to worry about, like we said, is worrying about when we lose power, what are we going to do? And maybe, so a lot of people, what we've seen is, when we leave the house, we go somewhere else, we go stay at a hotel, we try and avoid it because we don't have an option of keeping ourselves powered up, whether we're relying on medical devices or whatnot. And you were talking about even just the small stuff. You know, a phone. How many times do we just want to make sure we have a phone for entertainment, for communication? You know, Hurricane Sandy, the biggest thing was everybody was looking for a place to charge their phone to see if somebody was okay, to let everybody else know that they were okay. So on the front, we showed you that display. You have every single port right here on the front to plug in your smaller devices, your laptops, your phones, and so forth. And I'll give a quick tour. So you have the USB ports right here, 2 fast charging USB. Then we do have 2 fast charging USB-Cs for MacBooks, iPads, all of the new phones. We do have 4 full 3-prong 20-volt AC outlets, and then this one right here is actually a 30-amp plug, so you can plug in your full-size RV and some of your larger appliances. This also has Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. So although you have the display right here, maybe this is downstairs, or maybe it's upstairs. You don't want to have to constantly go up and down the stairs, or maybe you're not even home. You can download an app and get it connected to your Delta Pro and be able to monitor that display anywhere you are. One of the cool things about that is that, you know, if you have this connected to your refrigerator at home, or your husband works from home because he's got a desktop computer and he doesn't want to lose power and whatever progress he's working on with programming, you can use this as an emergency backup system. So if you have this connected to anything at your house and then the Delta Pro plugged into the wall and you lose power, this will automatically turn on in 20 milliseconds, turn on into its emergency backup system and continue to power whatever you got plugged in. A fish tank, a refrigerator, a desktop computer. And one of the great parts about the Delta Pro, we talk about it as an investment, you can have this connected directly to your home. If you have a full-size home, we actually even have a home panel that you can get this connected so that it will literally power your whole entire house. And you can upgrade this from not only 3,600 kilowatts of power, all the way up to 25,000 kilowatts of power. So this will grow with you in many ways. Will grow with you as far as power goes, and this can take 1,600 watts of total solar. So if you already have solar panels on the roof, you can use those and have them powering up your Delta Pro as well.
That's awesome. Well, and the other thing to note, which I think is so important, is again, it is this sense of peace of mind. Like we're ready. We've got the extra food we need. We've got ways to have clean water. And with the one element we were missing was how do we generate our own power? And I'll tell you, when my husband goes off grid, you know, we really put this to the test. And I want to show the Facebook picture again, if you don't mind, because people don't believe it. Now we've got it covered up, okay? So it's under there though. That's our EcoFlow. We have it outside. We covered it up to protect it, of course, but you can see we've got stuff plugged in. That's our little trailer, and we've got it plugged into the trailer. So of course it's powering it. So it was so nice because we have no electricity where that trailer is. And so we have the lights on, we're using the convection oven, you know, he's on his computer all day. We're also powering our satellite system so he can be on the internet. Here's the other thing about it too. If you're home-based and your company's headquarters is in California, but you live in Ohio, you might have the bad weather, but that company headquarters is still working. And if you work remote, you know this, Justin, they're expecting you to work remote as well. Yeah. So if you call in and say, hi, I've lost my power for a couple days, they're like, and do you know what people rely on? This is their backup. Another conversation I just had, this is so funny we're selling this, is a friend of mine were talking about having a built-in generator in their home. We're talking about power going out, right? And they said, oh, we've got generator, but guess how it's powered? It's by propane, or it was by gas or something. And they would have to spend hundreds of dollars a year to make sure they had enough gas, right, in their big tank to make sure their backup system came to life when the power went out.
Well, so there's a lot of that, right? You have the above ground type of propane. You also have the natural gas. And so sometimes you're sitting there in a neighborhood and you're saying, well, yeah, we'll get a natural gas hookup. If it doesn't already exist in your neighborhood, you have to have everybody in your neighborhood or on your street agree to it to get the natural gas installed into your street, and then that's about a $20,000, $25,000 investment. And one of the things you were even talking about with the security cameras is when you move, you know, it's nice that those will move with you. That's true. But when you get something that's permanent installed, like a $25,000 natural gas generator, that's not going anywhere. That's staying right where it is, and now you increase the value of your home. Congratulations. But this is what's nice about this. It's portable home backup power, so you can take this with you if you need to leave in an emergency. If you want to just take this with you for entertainment, you have that option. I do have the AC hooked up right over here because, you know, although it is pretty cool, just across the whole entire country right now, I'd just like to show that this is a full-size AC, not set to 78, set to 72 degrees, and you're seeing right there, it's gonna be able to power that up for about 19 hours, 18 hours right there. So no guessing involved with that. We do have all of our small stuff like our phones, our fans and our lights. I'll plug that in as well, just like we did in the kitchen, just to show you, you know, it's not like we have to unplug anything to plug something else in. So we got the little mini refrigerator now, we got a light, we got a fan, and let's see what we got. We got 16 hours for all of this.
Guys, how many of you have special medications that you have to keep cold? If the power goes out for more than 24 hours, you definitely start to freak out about it. So even if you get a backup little mini fridge, this is gonna barely sip the power, and you can keep your meds cold. That's some things you really have to consider when you're thinking about buying a system. And know that EcoFlow is one of the very, very best. Again, we've got VIP financing. We have 5 Flex if you just want to use that. Any major credit card you're in. And I know it's a bit more of a considered purchase, but I believe it's one of the best investments my husband and I made. Here's why. Yes, do we need it for backup? You bet. I'm so happy to have this because I will not mess with those gas-powered generators. I don't know how they work. They're heavy. I can't even pick it up. It's so heavy. This one I was going to show you, I can actually move this guy around, and I've done that myself, to be honest with you. And the other reason we got it was for fun. My husband wants to go off grid. Okay, girl, okay, I am a glamper. All right, let's be honest. I am not there like whittling fish hooks, you know, to go catch my fish. If he wants to go off grid, I gotta have the creature comforts, okay? And so this is how we agreed to go off grid. Emergency, yes, we need power off grid. Guess what? I'm still living a very comfortable off grid life because I have this, or life.
Well, and you know what? You're not having to worry about the loud noise of a gas generator running all night while you're on the campground, while you're sitting there trying to enjoy the great outdoors, and now it's all you hear is, you don't hear, the crickets and birds chirping. All you hear is a loud gas generator. And same thing equivalent to when you're out tailgating. If you've ever been out tailgating for an Eagles game, whatever it might be, if anybody's ever brought a gas generator, you're like, can we turn the thing off?
And the people around you are kind of hating you.
Yeah, exactly, right. But this is just a great alternative, and it's become the #1 alternative because it's easy. Every time I drive around the neighborhood now, I don't see people using gas lawn equipment. I see everybody, kind of adopting the battery-operated lawn equipment because it's simple.
Tools,
it's cleaner.
tools.
Exactly, electric tools and all the lawn equipment. And so the whole idea, what we see with electric vehicles, it's now kind of moved into electric power and home backup systems. And if you're looking at that thinking, well, okay, well, who's EcoFlow? We're the #1 in that industry and the #1 in this category of solar generators, and we're constantly innovating. We just came out with a new AC unit and heater, which hopefully we'll be able to launch here soon. We got a refrigerator as well. We've got tons of great and just innovative stuff. Again, there's a reason why this is the most powerful. And still, when I was at CES just in Vegas in January,
which is the Consumer
Electronics Show, I cannot tell you how many people who had already bought, kind of started with other competitors, said, we're now getting EcoFlow because it's just better, it's more affordable, and it's more powerful, and just the design of it, everything about it.
Yeah, honest to goodness, and that is the get it at home and you'll realize it for yourself. It's going to meet so many needs. Now this is the Pro model, and again, that's what we went for. We obviously have sold different models here at HSN, but this is the Mac Daddy. I mean, this is the one that we thought if we're going to invest in this, we're just going to go to the level we want, that really high-end level, and that's why we did it. I literally have this model, and my husband loves it too, and he was a real doubter. And I said, honey, we should go all electric in a way because we got the solar panels. So now those solar panels are out, it's feeding that more energy. So all day long, we have this loops, it's a closed loop system. I don't have to rely on anything else because we have the solar panels. So let me give you an update. If you want to get the one with the solar panel, I have less than 400 left for everybody, and then that's completely sold out. We expect that one to actually sell out pretty soon. With that one specifically, again, that's over $4,100 here at HSN normally. But if you're buying it right now, we're at $3,199. So that's a nice savings. If you want to get it without, it's normally almost $3,700, and we're about $700 off on that one. So huge. But I will tell you, as you know, Justin, most everybody goes with a solar because it makes sense. But with this unit specifically, how much power are we going to get with a single solar? We upgraded to 2 solar panels.
Yeah, I would recommend that since this is larger, obviously, you're going to want more solar panels. The reason why we wanted to start you off with the 160 watt, it's an upgrade over the 110 watt. But, even just talking about the 160 watt, what we just had running right now, I don't even think was 160 watts, which means that solar panel will power all of this during the day.
That's
right. If you think about that, right? So the sun is powering everything that we just had plugged in, meaning it's not depleting the power from your power station. So the more solar panels you have, more solar input also means pass-through charging to power everything you have plugged in, but also more solar input means faster recharge on your power station.
And I just want to point out too, if you're going to get the one with the solar, it basically, if you do the math, because you can see a 2-pack is almost $600. We invested in that because we wanted more solar power, right? But even if you get the one you're getting, basically it's $100. So we've sort of, with the sale, you're getting the best deal by getting the solar panel with the unit. And if you want to add more, you can add more solar panels. So if you do get the 2-pack, great, you're good to go with that.
Well, so 160 watts, we can actually take 10 times as much, 1,600 watts of total solar input. One of the things I want to mention too is that, this is an LFP battery system. So this is a 10-year lifespan, over 6,500 life cycles on this, meaning 0 to 100% recharge. That's a 5-year warranty that's backed behind that as well. So 5-year warranty of one of the latest and greatest just kind of models and designs for batteries. LFP means LifePo. So it's one of those things where you start to look in this genre of power stations. You want to look for a new battery, right? It's not something that's just kind of lithium lithium ion. This is LFP, meaning you have a longer lifespan. We're just showing you that warranty, 5-year warranty on something like this as well.
Wait, but to your point, when you talk about the lifespan of it, that's if you're using it constantly 24/7,
right,
over
if you
and
use
over
it
and over.
every single, right. If you deplete the battery, recharge it once a day, that means you can do it once a day for 10 years.
For 10 years.
That's unbelievable, right?
So,
most of us are not going to do that.
So kind of think about that. You're like, oh, only 10 years. Are you kidding? No, no, no. You're not going to, hopefully you're not in the situation where you have to use it 24/7, day after day. You're only going to use it temporarily, and that's exactly what we do.
Yeah.
We buy it for the hurricane season. We buy it for the power goes out. We're completely ready. We buy it to go off grid. We know a lot of people buy it for the tailgating. There's a lot of fun things you can do with it, because we always talk about some of the doom and gloom. That's reality.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of fun things, especially if you love to tailgate at the football games, you're going to a college game, you're going to have a ball with this, because you're going to be able to watch the game without that stinky loud generator, or keep the frozen margarita machine working.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
by the way, and Justin, there's some stuff, can you talk about that too?
Yeah, well, I don't know if you saw that, a washer machine, right? Everything in your home, this is going to power 99% of your appliances, so just about every single thing around you right now. A refrigerator, full size, not a little mini one. Your CPAP machines, we've seen dialysis, oxygen machines, you know, electric scooters, and reviews, people just talking about, this was one of the things, I can't tell you how many people come up to me just for a CPAP saying, Justin, you know, either I or my husband needs a CPAP machine, and this was a great way to finally be able to go camping, because he just didn't ever want to do it because we couldn't power up a CPAP machine.
You know what, that is a great point.
I know I keep mentioning the Consumer Electronics Show. I've had multiple people even there saying, I've been looking for something like this because we want to be able to run it in the tent. And we also think about even professionals, you know, if you're working off site. I've had so many photographers saying we wanted the smaller power stations, but we had the big ones for home. So whether it's small electronics or true power tools, we talk about emergencies. I know we keep saying emergencies, but if you need a power tool and you have no way to power it for a down limb, this is a great way to do it. I know we joked about it. One of the TSs that we had to cut down a whole bunch of limbs to get an RV in the back over here. We use the Delta Pro to have a little handsaw power tool to cut all the trees, and we use the Delta Pro to do it.
So he couldn't get into the driveway. So he's like, well, we've got our own power. They plugged in and literally trimmed our trees
20 guys standing around were like, we don't have an extension cord long enough. I'm like, plug it into the Delta Pro. It was everybody's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those funny moments, right? You're like, oh my goodness. And again, you know, I think there's multiple reasons why you should invest in this. I do. Number one, it is a sense of peace of mind and security. Even if it collects dust in a closet for years, you know when the emergency happens. And how many of you really talk to somebody who's been through a real bad emergency? Recently with our hurricane here hitting the folks down below us, and it was darn close to hitting St. Pete, they have been devastated. And the worst part is just not having any power. You know, not going, how am I going to call a relative? I can't even get power from my phone. And that desperate feeling. How many of you just had the power go out because the ice took down some you know, cables outside, or some wires outside, or lines, right? Think about it. You're one day in. Even people go 5 hours without power, everybody starts to freak out a little bit, because you're thinking, my fridge. And also think about how much food you throw away if you eventually have to throw all that food out in your fridge and your freezer. I mean, that could add up to several $100s. When you have this, all of that worry just goes away. It's one less thing to worry about. You will be the one neighbor who actually has a light or lights lit up inside their house when the rest of the neighborhood is completely pitch black. And we all know how scary it is. Middle of the night, no power. It's already an unnerving situation because you don't know when it's going to come back on. And the heat of the summer, oh, Lord have mercy, down here in Florida, to have my AC running, even to have a fan on me, is going to make the difference between at least surviving and being comfortable and feeling more secure versus being completely out of control.
Well, one of the things we always talk about, right, is be proactive, not reactive. And we say that because we've been through it. You know, before this was even an option, I grew up in South Florida. I've been through many hurricanes. Went through Hurricane Andrew down in Miami as a kid. You want to know that you have the ability. It's peace of mind to have something, but peace of mind, you know you can use it, right? I can't tell you as well as how many women come up to me and say, Justin, yeah, my husband's got a gas generator, but if he's not home, I don't feel comfortable running it.
No, I have no idea how to use ours. And it's unbelievably heavy. Like, I cannot even pick it up. Watch this. And this thing, I mean, this thing's got a nice weight to it because it's a big unit.
Yeah.
But look how smart they are. They even give us, like, luggage. They give you the handles. So even girls, and I don't mean to put, girls down, but let's be honest, we're not quite as muscular. My husband's definitely stronger than I am. I love the fact that, once again, I feel empowered by my myself to know I'm gonna be comfortable. And when my husband, when he goes off grid, he is off grid. I can talk to him because we're set up for that. But still, if he goes off grid and I'm at home and something happens, this I'm okay with.
Right.
This I go, okay, this is easy. It's so easy. I just plug stuff in and the baby starts to work. And I think you're gonna really, really find this to be a brilliant investment in your sense of security and truly your peace of mind. Why buy it from us? They always give us special offers. Right now, basically, if you get the one with the solar panel, you're only paying about $100 for the panel versus $250, which is normally kind of the range we're in. If you don't want the solar panel, that's fine too. Once your power comes back on, you're just gonna plug it into any wall and it's gonna recharge itself, right?
Right, so fastest recharge rate when you plug it into the wall, fastest recharge rate, we give the option to take it to an EV station. The more solar panel input you have, the faster it's gonna recharge, up to 1,600 watts of total solar input. So you have options. I think options is the biggest thing that you can possibly want when it comes to being out of power. So if you already have gas and propane, great. Use that to power this up and then turn that off to conserve your gas and propane, because in emergency, first things that usually go is gas and or propane. We know big lines are just miles long just recently for that hurricane. I don't know if you want to come over here because I want to talk about just some medical devices, CPAP machines, a heating blanket really quickly, because although yes, we talked about the AC unit, it's nice to know that we still have the ability to keep ourselves warm. One of the things that you have there, Suzanne, is that extra battery. Yep. So, we think about, we had 3 days for a refrigerator.
Yeah.
When I get that connected to my Delta Pro, now we got 6 days.
Oh, no
we can
kidding.
have 2 of those extra batteries connected to one Delta Pro, which means now we have 9 days for a refrigerator. That's crazy.
Wow.
9 days, 9 days.
Before you have to recharge.
Before you even have to recharge. That's not even including if you have solar panels.
Right,
so we're just saying if you don't have solar panels, you're just running just all off of the battery system, you have 9 days you could have it powering with 3 of your power stations.
And we have these available, and they're $500 off too. So if you see, and it's just as easy and portable as the other one. I just wanted to show you the graphics up right there if you want to get the extra battery. So that's available right now.
One of the things I wanted to, can we pull up that picture of the Delta Pro?
Yeah, sure.
But I also wanted, can we show that
This
you
is
do
off-gridding.
have a case that you can get too?
Yes, there is a case.
You can either have a sleep, what is that? Is that a sleeping bag?
No. My husband bought a cover for it.
Oh, it is a cover.
Yeah. We didn't have the case when we bought ours.
Okay.
So he wanted to protect us, so he put a cover out. It's a waterproof cover.
Oh, perfect. We do have a waterproof cover as well.
Yes.
It does have a vent in it, so you can either use that or you can use the big waterproof case. So that will go over it. It actually gives you the ability to have the ports and the vents. I just wanted to show that really quickly.
It's smarter than our little draped tarp.
But I like yours. I like yours. Okay.
It doesn't look very off-grid because it was very off-grid.
Well, hey, look, I mean, so this isn't meant to be outside in the rain.
No.
For that, the one that you had, it's perfect because, you can keep it covered. You still want to have it ventilated, but that way you can keep it protected. And we do have the carrying case that you can get. I want to show this heating blanket. 2 days. 2 days for a heating blanket. 2 days.
That's great.
I mean, that is crazy. This isn't saying 2 hours. That's 2 full days, 48 hours that you can have a heating blanket. How many times have we seen even just recently these bomb cyclones and all of this, the crazy names for weather? Right. We want to make sure we can still stay warm under a heating blanket for 48 hours. And then I'm just going to go ahead and plug in a CPAP machine because now we've pretty much touched on almost everything, right? Medical devices, our kitchen, our all of our appliances, our creature comforts. Once this turns on, I want you to see this. This is going to be able to power up for nearly about close to the same amount of time. Right now it's saying about 3 days, 2 days. Once it starts to kind of slow down, it's saying right now—
That's 2 days.
2 days. So we got either 2 days for our heating blanket, there we go, or 2 days, not 2 hours, for a CPAP machine. Think about that. Dialysis, CPAP, oxygen machine, whatever it might be. How else could you do that and do it inside of your home?
Yeah, and again, great. I mean, this is all talking about making those emergency situations better and the fun situations really better too, like the tailgating and the picnic and the family reunion where you want to show something really cool. Oh, there's lightning. Oh. Yeah. Oh no, here we go. We're losing the power. Yeah, wait, let's go turn the lamp on.
Let me
turn
go
the lamp back
exactly.
on?
So
we need the lamp and the fan.
So we'll
and
just
AC.
wheel it back over. And you know what? You don't have to constantly be moving this. Find a good central location, grab some extension cords, and you can just go ahead and plug everything in. But if you want to, it's nice to know that you can just wheel this around. Lights are out. We lost power. What are we not doing? We're not freaking out. You know who? One of our guests, Tracy Rosa, she has a gas generator. That hurricane, she came up to me afterwards. She's like, Justin, you're not going to believe this. We had this gas generator we spent all this money for. Yeah. Didn't work.
Stop.
They could not get it started.
Oh, no way.
If you have not run your gas generator, because it's an engine, right? You can't let a car sit for too long.
Right.
Same thing with a generator. If it sits for too long, doesn't run, it might not run. So there was an investment she got. They sat it in the garage right when they needed it, in an emergency, and it wouldn't turn on.
No kidding.
This is not gonna have that problem. There's no gas, there's no propane, there's nothing that you have to worry about. That's a full 24 hours that you're seeing with a light and a fan and a refrigerator. That's pretty unbelievable.
Yeah, we got all three things going right now. It really is, so a full day on that. Just a little heads up, if you do want to get the unit with the solar panel, that is by far the most limited of the two options, and it's always the most popular. I think that's how we did it too. We like truly to be off-grid and not have to worry about needing or supplying electricity. We got the solar panels because we literally have no electricity when we off-grid. So it's really awesome, and they're really easy to set up, and they come with their own carrying case. In fact, we've got them ready to go because my husband's getting ready to take off for going off-grid again, and he's taking them with him. He's taking the whole system, again, because it just makes his life really easy, and he couldn't do the fun thing that he wants to do without having this. Like, it would eliminate his ability to go off grid because he's got to still work. So we do. We are completely and 100% independent if we need to be. And I'll be really quite frank with you, that is important for me and my husband. Not to get too down the rabbit hole, but I think the world is a very freaky place and crazy stuff's happening. And I love to know that if everything just sort of, hit the fan would still work. And I do believe that is so crucial, especially in this day and age.